Hello everyone, here's On God again, and this time I decided to make something different. Instead of this is like a tutorial. I have found an easy and cheap and easy way to create power on the beginning of the game using biofuel with Gregtech's machines. I found it very useful, so I like to share with you. So let's go to it. Basically, the first step is to create the material on which our biofuel plant will run, and that is just sugar canes. So make a little plot, you plant your crops from ice to put your sugar cane, and you have your field growing. Behind this wall, this dirty wall, you can see that I have already made some field. This is the same field I use on the Kirara I playing at the moment. And these 3 fields of sugar canes on a 9x9 can give me up to 12 stacks of sugar canes. What's that gonna be useful for? You're gonna talk later. But now let's build the setup. There is basically 3 setups I come with this. The early one, the second one, and a more advanced. I'll show first you the early one that is pretty much easy. For first, to make biofuel, you need to compress the reed, so the first step is a compressor. Let us put to output from the top, and let's say to give power to. On top of it, you need something to can the compressed plants in cells, and for that, it's a canning machine. Just like the compressor, let's say to output to the top, and let us feed energy too. Now the next step would be to a place to actually convert the caned bioplant into biofuel, be the extractor. But before that, let's also need to give it power. So this we're gonna power the compressor that is powering the canning machine. And for next, let us take a hopper and place it on the canning machine like this. And now I'm gonna pick our diesel generator, place it on top of the hopper. Now have a little thing that you need to be aware of. Since I'm gonna power the machines from the below, if I place the extractor like this on that, when the generator starts running, it will generate power and affect the extractor beside it, and the machine will receive more energy than it can handle and explode. For that, we're gonna place an iron cover. Can be almost any cover, really. Get a screwdriver and let us wrench it until it's allow only items to go through it. Perfect. Now let us place our extractor and say to output into the biofuel. Let us click open GUI and say to feed the items. Now our left is place the empty cell here. And we also need some place to something to feed the compressor with. So let's place a hopper. Let's grab some chest. Let us open the GUI and throw sugar canes at it. Let's throw a lot of sugar canes. Yay! Yay! Oh, but before that, cancel that. Let's do something different before. On the first time this setup runs, we also need the power, of course. So the setup is ready, almost. On the first time you need to give it power manually because the machines don't have none. So let's give a battery. And let's place here. As you see, it's gonna quickly be consumed to fill all the machine's internal buffers. Now let's wait and stop. I want to leave it at 2000 because this I want to show you. Let's give the machine 8 sugar canes, because 8 sugar canes is what it needs to start the process. So let's go. 8 sugar canes in the compressor, and the 2000 power I left it to show you is going. So this is going and going. Second step, caning the bioplant on the cane, and next step is to extract it. When it's extracted, it's gonna output it into the diesel generator, and since there is no fluid version for biofuel, it's just gonna spin one cell for time, and the empty cell gonna the output slot. But since there is a hopper below it, it takes the cell and hit it to the machine, and the machine is producing power. And I am not quick enough, but all this process to turn the sugar canes into compressed bioplants, cane it, extract it, put the machine cost less than 2000 EU. And since biofuel cells give us 6000 KEU for each cell, on this process we are gaining 4000 EU every single cell. Pretty neat, huh? You just come here, you harvest your sugar canes, and you place on the chest and forget it. I like to build this way and give this battery box here, and then run the cable to the other machines. So this battery box will serve as a backup system from the process line. As you see, the power is being generated, and even though our machines are running. And you probably can see that we are producing a little more faster than the biofuel is consumed, but that's come in the simple setup. This is the first and easy way to do this power. However, when we advance to the electric age, we can add another step to this process to gain more energy. So let's place the compressor, the caning machine, and the extractor as before. But now we need another caning machine. Yes, another caning machine, because when we reach the electric age and make the industrial centrifuge, we can make the empty plastic fuels, which can be filled with the biofuel to become plastic fuel cans. So we have one extra step for that. But this leaves us with a problem. As you see, it puts the plastic and give back the empty cell. But how are we gonna return this to the system? With a shorter. So the setup gets a little more tricky because you now need a shorter to place the cells back into the system. So let's face the north side. So this north side, let's quickly grab an empty cell and empty cells on the north side, which is the original caning machine. But we need to export this to let's put the output here. but we also we want to place the plastic can back because the can is not used. So let us make the same thing as before, the hopper and the biodiesel above it. But now we found a little problem, there is a little gap. We can either go this side or this side. Either side is fine. We take a pipe, brass pipe, which is very easy to make. We can easily go this side or this side. Difference is this one you need just to screw the side of machine so they don't attach. But if you go this side, you need to place some cover to avoid connection with the hopper. So anyway you choose, it's gonna go. Now let's set up just like before. Output up, output up, output right, output down. Fill the machine with item and power, item and power, item and power, and this item. We could also do power, but that is up to you. I'm gonna update it with power too. And just like before, let's create a separate system for the back box and run the cable from the back. Now just grab another battery, but this time we need 2 batteries because the electric shorter have a bigger internal buffer than the simple machines here. Just the electric shorter will consume enough power of 1 battery, as you see that. Let us run now and gain energy. times 9k. So okay, let's go do this again. 8 sugar canes, and let's see the cost. Let us disconnect the power. Step 1 done. Now second step, there's still power there. Third step, and the power is still going. And it's over. As you see, this whole process takes less than 2000k. But now our beautiful biofuel is generating more than 6000. It's generating 7000 EU for each plastic cell. So all we need to do now is just like before, skipping this. With sugar canes and everything, you'll be happily and nicely. But the problem of this is that at some points it will start to getting more than getting a little extra of biofuel of the canned fuel. Of the fuel can, what's hard to say that? But also that is not a problem. For some reason, sometimes the fuel can stop stacking and this will clog the system. So on this part you should trade this pipe for a hopper. So they're gonna be stored here while the pipe is fuel. is full, it's clogged. From this setup, you could advance to another setup to use two of those instead of just one. So let us do this. Let's remove these cables, put another hopper, put another diesel generator, and let us grab some stuff. Basically, small electric buffers. Yes, I know. So let us break this pipe, this one through. Let us space, then here. Then let's wrench it to face us, and let us say to keep one only. Back to your place, and let's have a look. Since they are regulated to only insert one item, when there is one item in the upper slot like here, it will not add any more one. It will stay on the chest. So let us make that when there is something, it emits a headstone. This will be useful for the nets little trick. Let's take two pipes. Let's put something to separate them, like a simple cover. Now let us take this headstone machine controller on each front of the pipe touching the small buffer, and let us put a shutter just below it. And then let's invert it. And now let's run this pipe below them. As you see, everything connects nicely. But as you can just see, this pipe is connected. Why? Because this buffer that contains the can is emitting a signal that, oh, I already have something, go place it on another one. So if any more cannot feel it come, we'll go to the other side that's still open, and this will use the two diesel generators at a time instead of just one. As you see, the fuel will arrive here. Oh, we are forgetting a basic principle here. Those need power, so we need to connect power to them. Sorry about that. So let's just run this cable just like that. Now let's run it below it. Let's make this thing pretty, shall we? Click upgrade here, and then here, and it becomes ugly. Oh, I'm really not alright. Now it's all connected and all should work just fine. Yes, we have our plastic and we have the buffers with the item blocking any more connection. And the system will continue to work. As it always be. So this will be generating more, double the power on the same time, but we need some of these advanced tools to mess with it. There is two bottlenecks to this setup, the compressor and the extractor, because they take a long time to produce the result. It will take its toll on the power generation. Some people say that we could install overclockers to make it work faster. That's true, But keep in mind that every overclocker we place on the setup will reduce the amount of EU we gain from each cell. So it might not be that interesting to overclock it. You can always make more of this setup to create more power. But be aware that if you did go with 3, trying to get 3 of those working, it will become more than low voltage and will explode your filters and other machines. On the Kirara that I play, I have a more advanced setup using up to 3 of those, but that's too complex to show now. As you can see, because of the time we take off trying to make the setup, we have built enough cannot fuel to actually use a boat and still have some extra. And also the buff is full, so since it's not expending any energy, it's not gonna spend the fuel. Well then, in my opinion, this is a pretty easy and basic way of generating power in the start of the game up to later, because it's very easy to make all of this, and the fuel for it is very cheap. As I told you, it's just free. And as I told you before, or not, I don't remember anymore. Sorry. The fuels can give me up to 12 stacks of sugar canes, and each stack is about, and on the setup, about 14,000 EU. So 12 times this is equal more than 500,000 EU from sugar cane only. So God thanks you for all watching this. Have my screwdriver, because when everything else is fail, screw it, and see you again.